Quack, 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 quack. Hey, there you all are. Welcome to another video about indie games for the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. Almost all these games can be found on the website itch.io. I'll link each of them down in the description. Some of these games are free and you can donate to them if you want, and some you need to buy. Then you can use an emulator on a handheld system or your computer to play them. I guess this is where I'm supposed to say smash the subscribe button and hit the like button and hit the bell and... As a public service announcement, I think smashing or hitting anything on your screen is probably a bad idea. You're going to break something. Unearthed is a puzzle game where you need to collect resources and get them to the exit. Your character is Max, a mineral miner that uses a mech suit to do his job. It's the future, and Max is trying to provide for his family, specifically his loving wife and rebellious teenage daughter. Max has a somewhat annoying AI manager that looks like a kitty cat, named Kitty Ultra. As for the gameplay, the puzzles can become quite complex, and that's because it's not a basic block-pushing puzzle game. You can dig beneath the ground and reach this underground terrain, which helps you get to areas you couldn't get to before. You can only go up and down, between the surface level and the lower level, by digging with your mech, or by falling down through a hole. Your mech suit needs enough fuel to dig, so you can refill using designated fueling stations. Also, if necessary, you can exit your mech to push delicate things or to move through small entrances. You add this to a complex variety of tiles and interesting objects that do various things, and all these factors come together to make some brain-bending puzzles. Your little guy's got to be prepared for some really tricky challenges here. It reminds me of the Nintendo game Mole Mania for the original Game Boy, which is a great game. Unearthed is an onslaught of puzzles that only get harder. But you can always self-destruct to try a puzzle again. And like all 8 games I'm highlighting in this video, it has an excellent pick-up-and-play feel. Meanwhile, there's an engaging sci-fi story underlying what's happening, with some twists and turns. This is a great achievement of a game that most definitely took a lot of time and effort to develop. I wholeheartedly recommend it for anyone who loves puzzle games. Hermano is a platformer game where you can throw your skull or throw bombs to defeat enemies. I love anything Day of the Dead themed, including the video game Grim Fandango, for example. In this game, you're trying to rescue your hermano, which in English means your brother. A demon has dragged him down to hell. Time to take matters in your own hands to save your bro. Honestly, the game mechanics aren't super complex, but the levels are nicely designed where you get flipped upside down sometimes, it's got mini games, and it's fun to play. I really enjoyed my time with it. Warning. If you play a lot of Tetris, then this game is going to fry your synapses. The goal of Ormblok is not to perfectly stack the pieces, but to leave certain size holes, with a mix of familiar and unfamiliar pieces, to form pellets for your snake to eat. It's an interesting, bizarre mix of Tetris-like gameplay and the classic game Snake. All these elements come together to make something completely unique. Your snake can only eat the pellets you created after you make a 4x4 vortex portal that eventually you have to steer your snake into. This game is very hard and addictively fun. In the footage I captured, I'm trying to reach a certain score without killing myself in each round, and I'm not very good at it. Hey, this inventive block stacking game is exactly what the doctor ordered. Especially as a Tetris chaser, clear out the perfectly stacking Tetris tiles in your imagination. If you're dreaming of Tetris and have it on your brain, this will just scramble all that and clear it out. Speaking of block stacking games, that brings me to the next game on our list. Stacking blocks to clear rows is the classic formula. But what if there were Kraken arms coming from below to push blocks upwards? This question is addressed and answered in From Below Pocket. It's an awesome new gimmick that completely changes the game. When an octopus arm rises from the sea below, it makes things much more complicated. The rising arm shifts the block up every 10 seconds, so timing now becomes a thing to watch out for. Each arm is a menace that can be killed only by clearing a row that includes the Kraken arm itself. The arms can also retract on their own, and can even push blocks up to clear rows. The block stacking mechanics work great. Everything just flows like the classic game that inspired it all, whose name escapes me momentarily. But there's a wild twist, and it makes the game entirely different. And it's got a cephalopod, so I'm in. I'm notoriously a fan of cephalopods. But okay, what if you want to play an amazing block stacking game without a twist? Then, the next game is right up your alley. If you own an alley. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Apotris. Apotris? It's a free, open source, multi-platform block stacking game. This game.
Ready. Go.
Out of all the homebrew GBA games I've played, and I've played many, I have put more time into this one than any of those combined. I've probably played it more than any one classic GBA game as well. This is an amazing game to have on the Game Boy Advance. Thoroughly customizable with a ton of modes, skins, and options in general. I think this is one of the best GBA games ever created. The controls are so perfect and smooth. If I want to just chill out and listen to a podcast or a long-form talky YouTube video, I'll play this while listening. When I'm playing, I usually use the default music and aesthetic and set it on marathon mode. What a simultaneously relaxing and pulse-pounding game that can get you into a real flow state after getting deep into it. The game modes include Marathon, try to get the best score as the game gets faster and faster. Sprint, clear lines to reach the goal as fast as possible. Dig through lines of garbage. Ultra, get the best score in a limited time. Blitz, get the best score in a limited time while the game gets faster and faster. Combo, aim for the most consecutive clears in a 4-wide well. Survival, survive as long as possible as garbage rises from below. Classic, old school stacking mechanics. Master, get the highest grade while the game gets progressively faster. Death, try to survive at brutal speeds. Zen, the goal is to relax. 2-player battle, battle your friends through a link cable or a wireless adapter. CPU battle, go against an AI opponent. And training, try out new strategies or improve your playing using the included finesse trainer. I completely take back what I said at the top of this section. There are a ton of twists on the classic formula available here. So we're going to shift gears hard here, tonally speaking, with radio ghosts. That said, if you just based it on the footage I'm showing here, it won't be clear that there's a shift in tone. Like the above games, there's puzzles in this one. And it might seem humorous and lighthearted. And it is. But that's not the whole picture. And it's definitely not about the puzzles. This game is about the story. And it's quite a story. And I'm going to grapple with explaining both why this one is worth playing and not spoiling it. Let me say right now, at the top, this game left me in tears. I don't cry that often, and definitely not from Game Boy games. But this was the exception. Alright, let me rewind my explanation a bit and say it's a top-down story game with some puzzles. In contrast to what I was just talking about, the game has a silly, spooky Halloween-type vibe. It starts with the main character Liz camping with her mother in a densely wooded area. Her mother is cold despite a roaring fire, and you need to look for some wood to help out Mom. While looking for wood, you run into a silly ghost that lives in a radio whose name is Barry. Throughout the game, this ghost helps talk you through the strange adventure you're on, and tries desperately to lighten the mood. The narrative is tight and the game is not super long. The puzzles in this game are few, but each one can be tricky to get the hang of at first. I'm definitely not going to spoil the ending of this game. All I can say is it hits hard emotionally, and it's also a journey that can help with some trauma beneath the surface. I don't want to be hyperbolic, but I really consider it kind of a masterpiece of storytelling. And despite a number of purposely corny jokes, it can be funny too. After playing Radio Ghosts, you might want to chill out and take your mind off things. Yeah, that would probably be advisable. And I know the perfect game. Luggage Retrieval Officer. This one is a vibe. The soundtrack lulls you into a relaxing and warm place as you navigate brain-bending, mind-boggling puzzles. It's a simple move the blocks around puzzle game. You slide the suitcases around to allow a specific suitcase down the conveyor belt. Move your way up the ranks of the luggage retrieval world into important roles, rescuing key luggage. Quite honestly, initially this game looked too simple to catch my eye. But the puzzles are actually complex and fun. And the vibe is immaculate. There is dialogue from your supervisor, which is amusing, and the whole thing, despite the tricky puzzles, becomes very relaxing. Last on the list, we have Skyland. Skyland is a strategy game about building up a sky fortress. You can engage in fights, diplomacy, and salvage. Meanwhile, an intense force is on your back, so you better build up your arsenal to take it on. The sky map allows you to pick your next location to visit. Each fight is initially paused. During this pause time, you can spend money to creatively build up your flying castle with weapons, defenses, key systems, and aesthetic additions. I mean, might as well make your castle look good, right? Nobody wants an ugly sky castle. Putting together the perfectly designed flying castle is a puzzle in itself. Once you're done making your fortress, you can press play and see how the battle turns out. If you lose, you can rewind and try again. Or you can surrender and start over. Once I figured out the basic mechanics, I really enjoyed playing this game. And it's got some great both dramatic and funny dialogue. Banana. I love everything about this game. And that's it for today's games. Or is it? Here are some snippets of other awesome demos and full games I ran into while researching this video. I'm just going to show these other games without any commentary.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
I guess this is the part where I say like and subscribe and let me know something or other in the comments section. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I appreciate the support. Until next time, I hope you're having a wonderful day.